Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for watching. Today I want to talk to you about the Developing the Early Learner workbooks. So if you are doing Sonlight, or if you have done Sonlight P 3-4 or Sonlight Preschool, and you're getting ready to do Sonlight P 4-5 or Sonlight Pre-K, they call it now, you're going to see these books recommended in the Sonlight catalog. And I personally didn't know if it was worth buying them, and I couldn't find a lot online about them. So I thought I would go ahead and show you what they look like inside. I'll tell you what we think of them, if we plan to use them again. And then at the very end, I have just a couple little clips of my 4-year-old working with them so you can see what it was like. Okay, so here are the workbooks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So right here, Sonlight P 4-5 it used to be called, or now they call it Pre-K, and it's for ages 4 to 5. There is a list in the back that helps you to assess your student. You'll see I didn't really use the list. I started out using it and then I didn't. So if you want to see a detailed breakdown of the skills they're supposed to learn in each book, you can pause this and read it. I won't bother reading through it. Like book 1, motor skills, left, right, hand, eye, it goes on. So if you want to, you can pause it and read the list here. I'll show you each of them. This is book 1. This is the list for book 2. This is for book 3. And this is for book 4. Now going back to book 1, I'll just briefly flip through and you can see what's in each book. Just a simple maze. They're supposed to try to not touch the lines. These are identifying same and different, which they use the word identical, so we had to talk about what identical means. These pages, there were several throughout the books. They have, first of all, visual cues here for 1, has 1 finger up, 2, and so on. So they don't have to know their numbers when they start with this book. There's a smiley face and a frown. You're supposed to make a sound. They're supposed to close their eyes or look away. You make a sound and then you make another sound. If the sounds are the same, they do the smiley face. If the sounds are different, they mark the sad face. So we had fun with those. You know, I would tap on the desk or do different things. That was fun. These are matching things that go together. So does a match go with fire or with trees? These pages, you were supposed to get these things out and set them in a box or on a tray and have them look at them. And then you remove one of the items, like remove the paper clip, show them the tray again, and they had to tell you what was missing. Some tracing. And then you get into what comes first. So, you know, the dog, you'll see this one, the dog was a puppy and then a dog. Rhyming pages, identifying pictures. And then they just basically repeat. This rainbow one was really fun. He was supposed to color it. Although it did say color the rainbow correctly. And I had to Google a picture of a rainbow. I guess I'm not sure if I'm supposed to know that, but I didn't know what colors exactly to put in a rainbow, so I thought it was kind of odd that it said to color the rainbow correctly and then it didn't give us any indication of what considered correct. And then the book basically just repeats, like here instead of tracing, now they have them doing dot to dots to make the same shapes. It gets a little bit harder, but the same concepts are repeated with increasing difficulty throughout. That's book 1. Book 2. So like for these, I was supposed to show them a picture of the number and then they had to pick it out. These were kind of fun. We would say color the foot green, color the cow's horns red, color the chick's beak blue, and they would have to remember what to do. The only thing I didn't like about these pages was the directions you're supposed to give are at the back of the book, and they aren't that easy to remember, so it's kind of difficult to be flipping to the back of the book and then reading the directions while they're trying to write in the front of the book. So for these, I really just ended up doing whatever I felt like doing. I didn't follow their directions. I just made up something I wanted him to do with those colors. Trace and color the square in the box. Find all the boxes on this page. Again, with shapes over here. What came first? Now listen what directions are read. So this one, color the oval, the square, and the circle according to the code, which again, they can't read at this point, so I had to, read them. There was just some things in it that I found a little bit odd. Book 3. This is now up to 5 or 6 items on a tray where you take one off the tray and they have to tell you which one's missing. This one was kind of silly looking, but he had to find like the zebras and do those. Okay, book 4. We did not do book 4, but you can see they're getting smaller letters and more items. Number the pictures 1 through 5, telling the story correctly. Heads up if you're a vegetarian, this page is all about meat, I guess. But I see that they've moved on from 3 pictures to put in order to 5. Many versus few. Sometimes words can have more than one meaning. Study the picture on the left. Find the picture in the row that uses the same name and color it. So keys and keys. So now they want them to do the alphabet in order, starting at the left. Track each row and circle each letter, being sure they are in alphabetical order. An observer should place their hands on each side of the child's head to prevent movement. I'm not even sure what that means. I'd have to read it again to understand. Maybe it's just me, but I just think they're a little bit odd. Fast and slow, number them in order again. So you can just see the types of activities they have. And again, here's like a list of things you were supposed to read them. The list is in the back though, so I don't know if they want you to tear that out and then do it. So are we going to do them again? I've really been undecided about that. Even up until today when I was going to film this, I was trying to decide for sure one way or the other. And I think I'm really leaning towards not using them again. And there are a couple main reasons for that. It's not that we don't like them or think that they're teaching valuable skills. We really do. It was more like we didn't like having another thing on our schedule that we had to do. And I felt like when we did sit down and do this, he would do a week or 2 of them at a time. So it really didn't take very long, but at the same time, I felt like he wasn't getting a lot out of it if he could just breeze through them that fast. I think if I was going to do them again, I would try to do them for an older 3-year-old or maybe a 4-year-old that isn't doing a phonics program or anything already. Because in our case, we were already doing Logic of English with him at 4. And so it just felt like these were a little bit below what he was capable of. If you were going to wait and start a phonics program at 5, then it may not be so redundant and you could do these at 4 as a stepping stone to a phonics program. I also think that a 3-year-old could likely do books 1 and 2. 3 and 4 might get a little bit harder for them, but for sure at 3 I think you could start with books 1 and 2 and then you could just save books 3 and 4 or buy those later if you decided you liked the program. The other reason that I don't think we're going to continue it is because from what I can tell and the wording with the copyright in the front of the book, you're not supposed to reproduce these. So it's not okay to make copies for the next child to use. And with having 6 kids, I really can't see myself spending the money on these books 6 times over. So if they had a PDF version, I would have been happy to pay a little bit more for the right to reproduce it myself. But as it is, I just don't think it's going to be worth that ongoing expense. So in our case, we enjoyed them. They were okay. Some of the pages were fun to do, but I don't think that we're going to do them again. But I am trying to show you everything about them so you can decide for yourself. If you have more questions or you want to see more specifics that I haven't shown here, just let me know and I would be happy to help you decide. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, find me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook as Married to the Farm. Thanks so much.
Look at the dog pictures. So first you have a dog that's little, like a puppy, and then you have a dog all grown up. So which one happened first?
It was little.
Okay, so go ahead and circle him when he was little.
When did he get this size?
I don't know. He must have grown up. Okay, and then you have, looks like a picture of a guy with a bowl full of food. And then there's a picture of a guy with an empty bowl and food all over his face. Which one do you think happened first?
Head bowl full.
Okay, so go ahead and circle that one. Okay, so he is 4.5, right? 4.5. And he's playing footsie with his brother under the table. And this is book 3.
Fight.
Book 3. And so he's supposed to number 1, 2, 3, which he's just learning to write his numbers. But he's done it. He's done this page maybe a couple other times. There were pages like this. But today I just wrote the numbers and went over how to write them. And then I walked away and he did it himself. And I'm kind of amazed, like 1, 2, 3, yeah, the person's growing up. That's not that hard. But look at this one, like the bees on the flower for number 1. Number 2, the bees are in the hive. And number 3, the bear's eating the honey. And he got that right all by himself. Kind of amazed.
Yeah.
And then they used the supplies to build a doghouse. And then the egg cracking. So, I don't know. I was skeptical about these books, but they're pretty awesome, actually. It's nice to see that, huh?
You're
You're goofy.
flips.